Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Mighty Benaya here. You all mentioned that you wanted to see my perspective on the Nerf Surf Turf game, so here it is, the moment you've been waiting for. And no, Quasimodo, I am not going to be singing that this time. Maybe later. Leave me a comment if you want me to start singing randomly during these videos, or leave a comment to tell me that you do not want that at all. So, after that, besides that, my teammates are Silver Star, Morcus the Dorcas, and then here's myself. So we took Libya and East and West and Egypt. And at the very beginning, we knew that we had a boundary here, and we have a big boundary in the Mediterranean, so we have less to worry about with Papa Smitty. So the one arena that we had to worry about was the coalition that was over here. If we could knock out this coalition, we have a boundary here at Gibraltar and a big boundary here in the Atlantic Ocean. So if we can take out this coalition, we have a continent and we have enough of a boundary. And as long as Silver Star can create enough navy, we would be in a really good situation for the mid to late game. So at the very beginning, I took out this province, which is the double grain that belonged to Portugal, and these two provinces. Actually, this last province was taken over by East Algeria, who owned a lot of this. And then day 3, I went to war with East Algeria, and I made a little bit of progress early on, and I continued to make progress in the north. This is their last province currently. There was some discussion with Olicia, and I haven't talked much with Sweet Salt, but there was some discussion as to they really did not want to get conquered. And at the time, it was looking like we were going to steamroll them. What they did not know was that it was only Morcus and I that were coming over, and Silver Star is bottling up here, ready to pounce on Arabia at any moment if they need to, when they need to, and we'll get to that later. But it was looking like they were going to be completely routed because they had spent a lot of their efforts down here conquering West Africa, and they'd spent a lot of their resources doing that as well. So they didn't have the resources to fight us, especially if it was all three of us committing a lot of resources to taking them over. So they decided, instead of trying to fight us, they would try to run. So Olicia was able to, they have good relations with Power of Us, Orange Pit, and Bullet Hole. And as we all know from some conversations that Spankerton had been alluding to, there was a lot of tension up here. So they sent, specifically Olicia, they sent a lot of infantry down here to try to attack the back line of southern USA. And they succeeded. They were able to take Miami, and now they have taken Orlando. I have it on decent authority that East Algeria, who I have almost knocked out, is also over here fighting. What my understanding is they are creating for themselves a new home base so that they can remain in the game and maybe build back up, which is actually not a bad plan. I did that in my 100 game. It is a risky plan because if somebody decides to knock you out, or you don't have enough resources to fight the other coalition, it will bite you in the butt, as we saw in my 100 game. But running is not always the worst option in the world. I did negotiate with Sweet Salt and Olicia regarding what we could do to keep them in Africa if they wanted that. But those negotiations at this point have fallen through, and I don't anticipate that we will come to resolution anytime in the near future. I am not currently at war with either of them. I do have a ceasefire currently with Sweet Salt. Sweet Salt did attack me, and I currently have a ceasefire with them. But this is the only province that East Algeria has left. My plan at this point is I've put 3 spies in here. Here's my list, 3 spies. And I am going to try to knock down their fort because Morocco had 60 troops that they have since sent west. Because Morocco has abandoned East Algeria, I'm going to put 3 spies in there, try to knock their fort down, and then tomorrow I will try to invade, knock this last province out, and knock a capital out, which increases my morale everywhere, but B, also knock an opponent out of the game. The East Algeria is their turf warrior, which would make me the only turf in Africa. I am mildly concerned about Alicia and Sweet Salt having the capabilities to bombard, but we have the capability, since I am the only turf player, to overrun them if it comes to that. Before, when there was another turf player that was right next to me, there was no guarantees. And if you look, going back to our original strategy, they're in the same position that we're at. They have their backs to the water. Harkold's to their north, but worst case scenario, he has to embark and disembark, so they have a boundary there. So the only coalition they have to worry about is us. And the fact that we were able to strike first ensured our position into the mid game and into the late game. Some other things that are happening, and I will get into our future plannings here in a little bit. Some other things that are happening, Rayafors, Swedish King, and Hemland are doing really, really well economically because they have a lot of materials, and there's a lot of demand for materials right now because everybody's trying to build up their economy and everybody's trying to get ready for all of the airplanes and all of the cruisers and artillery for us turf players. So one thing that they did was they traded, I believe Rayafors is the surf player, because he gave up one of his double irons for a double iron over here that has a port. So he has 2 ports now. I anticipate seeing him pump out 2 cruisers immediately as they become available. And I honestly anticipate him going after Lord Leicester. Lord Leicester has a double wood here, so that increases their production again, and a double iron here. But more than that, Lord Leicester controls this strait. Without that strait, Ryaforce's team, Ryaforce, Hemland, Swedish Viking, their navy is stuck. Ryaforce is stuck in this sea. So they need to have control, or at least negotiated passage through Constantinople for their navy to do any good. So I anticipate that they are going to, at the at the development of cruisers, attack Constantinople. Here's why this is good for us. Silver Star has created a harbor here, 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 and here. We have 4 harbors. We went all in on building harbors for Silver Star. So I sent wood to him, Morcus sent wood to him, and that means that he should be able to build several cruisers starting off. And Arabia has the second most valuable resource in the whole game. So right now, the most valuable resources are the wood and iron. Arabia has oil. As the game goes on longer, wood and iron will become less valuable. and oil would become more valuable. So taking out Arabia is a great late game strategy. It's forward looking. So we have stacked up. He's Silver Star has a level 3 fort. He's got a bunch of troops ready to go. We have been knocking down levels on the Jerusalem's fort. So this morning we knocked it down to level 2. I also got visibility on all of his troops, so we know where they are. I don't know how many Ottomans, but I believe that's just 5 Ottomans in Jerusalem. I don't think it's a lot. But once we have cruisers, we can start bombarding the fort, and we should be able to quickly eliminate Arabia, who is their air player. So, because he is their air player, he won't be able to respond with his special unit for an additional several days, where Silver Star can just have free reign. Ottomans are the navy player, and they are teamed up. They are teamed up with Arabia. But if Raya Force is attacking the Ottomans, which I anticipate he will do, in order to get control of this harbor, and potentially aided by Hemland, then that will enable us to take out Arabia unmolested, because the Ottomans won't be able to send reinforcements down. Greece, I've not really seen Greece do a lot. I know that they have been building some things, but I don't really know much about what Greece is planning on doing. But I haven't seen them make any moves that are threatening towards me. One additional note: I would be terrified of Raya Force and Hemland and Swedish Viking, except there is a Spanish force here, I believe. Italy, and whoa, this was recently taken, I believe. Yes, that was taken from Germany. Okay, so Italy and Spain are marching through Germany and Austria-Hungary. I think that they are marching that way because they see Raya Force, Swedish Viking, and Hemland as a threat. Because they are a threat, they are marching to head off that threat. So what I anticipate, and I could be wrong, but what I anticipate is, with the advent of cruisers and artillery, Raya Force will declare war on the Ottomans. We will declare war on Arabia. Greece won't be able to help. So those two nations will be in some serious trouble, but we will get the better end of it, because not long thereafter, especially since as Raya Force makes progress, Papa Smitty and Harcold and Spank number 2, who was General P. Enos 12 hours ago. Somebody likes to change their name. Will be moving over to address the growing power of Raya Force and Hemland with all of their production. We are in a better long-term position as long as we can hold our position. So, I would like to take this last capital, knock a player out. Oh, okay, they're splitting up and leaving? No, I don't know what Morocco is doing, but they're sending units back. Interesting. Well, you see me, you're seeing me figure things out live. I have, before Morocco pulled out, I sent Alicia a request for right-of-way. I said, I will give you right-of-way if you give me right-of-way, because Alicia has not prevented me from taking this province. Sweet Salt has, and I've about had enough, and I'm about ready to move troops through West Algeria to take out Morocco, to take a cap. I don't know that I'm going to be able to do that, and they probably see what's going on, and they're probably negotiating behind the scenes, but that's kind of where I'm at. So, yeah, other than that, there's a lot going on the map that is happening behind the scenes. But that's where we're at. It is currently day 7. We're about halfway through day 7. I look forward to seeing what happens in the next 3 or 4 days as artillery comes out. I will probably release this in 10 days or something like that, about the same time that Spankerton is releasing the video for this time period, so that you can see, but also so that I'm not revealing anything that he's not revealing. So we're all on the same page. So if you want to see additional videos like this pop up, let me know. And the best way to let me know is by doing something like subscribing or liking or leaving comments. It helps me understand where content that you like, what I should be producing. And like Spankerton, he just came out with a video and he said, I hate asking for this. And he kind of stole the words out of my mouth. I told him I don't like it when that happens, when YouTubers ask for that. But it really does help me have a good understanding, more than just the Discord. So if you want to keep seeing this, let me know. Soli Deo Gloria, and I'll see you next time.